what are some of the things that you have gone out of being in that community? How has it benefited you? Or what have you taken away from being part of it?
I think maybe going back to what you were saying earlier about like from location and like growing up with a community and stuff, I think it's quite interesting that like, yes, we make our communities, but our communities kind of make us as well from like a really early age. It's like, I think who you are is like the sum of the communities that you've been involved with for your whole life. So they give you everything really at the end of the day.
I completely agree with you, Lee. I think for me there was one community in particular that did that. As someone who is disabled, I have a visual impairment, so one of the things that I've been able to do is work with the government and Children of Scotland, which is the dedicated children's charity in Scotland, who work with students who need extra support, and they have a group of people called the Inclusion Ambassadors, and I am one of them, and I was one of them from third year in high school all the way through to now, and I still can do it. The meetings are, regular, and we meet to talk about issues that affect us. So I think that community was quite important for me, for realising I was heard and feeling heard as somebody who had a disability that was potentially going to impact their day-to-day life in certain ways, and how to change that for young people who are coming up the ladder, in terms of like who are in primary school right now, who are going to make the jump to high school and have the support for them and have the right support for that matter as well. So I think that community was quite important for me in shaping the fact that I wanted to do, raise awareness and raise kind of points that people don't particularly want to raise sometimes because they're scared of talking about it, and disability can be quite taboo at times as well. So I think for me that community was quite important, and being able to say you can use a voice, you have a voice, use it, and especially for the people that don't have a voice, give them one. So that was quite important for me. Like, it was transformative in terms of mentally and personally as well, just having a space that I can use to vent about like issues that were happening, compared to like you maybe can't go to your parents about this kind of thing because they don't really understand it, because they're like, well, we're trying to help you, but then maybe what sometimes they put in place doesn't always help. So having the community to say that and having everyone to understand it was quite helpful.
Do you think your community has like influenced your identity then?
Definitely, yeah. I think even going back to like kind of broadcasting and radio, for me, there was always a thing in my head that I wouldn't be able to do what I'm doing because it's quite a visual job. In certain areas it's very visual, and so there was this kind of fear that wasn't going to be possible, in terms of like, how are you going to get in front of a camera if you can't see the camera or see where your points are, or to read an auto cue or whatever. But being here, uni and things as well, my lecturing community and my class as well have been really helpful in showing me that it is possible, and saying, well, okay, we'll just adapt it, we'll work around it, because there is always a workaround. But seeing that sometimes can be quite difficult, like mentally. So having the community of people to say to you, hey, you've got this, kind of does help, like friends as well, family.
That's cool.
Yeah, I think following on from that, like when I was struggling like with my mental health and things, you look for that community when you're unwell or you're struggling with disabilities and things. I think you look for people that actually understand it, people that are actually going through it at the time, rather than your parents who are like, yeah, we feel sorry for our kid, but they don't actually necessarily understand it. Like, yeah, there are some parents who have been through the same thing, but because they're at different ages and stages, some, like for me when I was ill, yeah, my parents might have gone through it, but I was not believing them. I was like, well, you're not my age, you're not at the same stage as me, you've already learned how to pass that. So I'm like, I would look for people my age, and I think that brought a community out as well. So for me, it's all about like helping, like look for the community when you are feeling low, and there will be someone out there feeling the exact same way as you feel in the time.
It's finding a connection with someone as well can be quite important, like finding people who understand in a way that your friends who aren't dealing with it can't really do. Because for me, like, my disability has been kind of source of quite a lot of, in school it wasn't easy because teachers didn't really they didn't have time to care, and as much as, here at uni you've got teams like yourself, Rachael, as student engagement, who do these things and work with these people, but then in primary school and secondary school you don't really have that connection with an adult in particular, or like with someone that you can go to and say, like, you know, actually today was hard, but then you can go to your parents and they'll say, well, okay, well, maybe we'll make your favourite dinner and whatever, but does that actually do anything? Like, maybe it'll boost your happiness for a little while, but does it actually, you know, fix the problem? Maybe having someone who understands on a deeper level does that a little bit.
Do you think the communities have given you some of the tools or language to be able to sort of navigate some of these things?
Yeah. I think for me, a lot of it's down to confidence and the ability to talk about my disability and the fact that it doesn't define who I am as a person and stuff. But it wasn't always like that. Like, the confidence comes from a community of people that care, and a community of people that say, well, okay, but how can we help you get through it, rather than, you know, sitting with you when it happens, rather than saying, well, okay, anyway, you can go and play football or hockey when that's the thing that's causing the issue. Like, for me, it was about, you know, being able to interact with my classmates and participate in certain sports in particular, whereas some people were like, well, just carry on, it's fine, it's just hockey, it's just this, it's just that, it's never just anything, because you spend all your time trying to find somebody who understands it, but sometimes it takes years to find that community of people, but they are out there, as you say, Katie, they are definitely there, you just need to find them.
Yeah, like a friend can be a really good friend, but they just don't understand what you're going through, and that's okay. You just need to remember that.
Yeah, totally.